Hi, my magical creatures, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is definitely, I'm gonna say, it's a very interesting one. So before we get started into the story time, don't forget to thumbs up this video and don't forget to subscribe. It's a free way to help your girl out. Okay, let's get started into the story time. So basically, the gist of the story is that I basically had this friend that was psychic. I know some of y'all are probably like, oh my God, here we go, all this stuff. But like, honestly, y'all, I truly believe that he really is psychic because he predicted a lot of things in my life. So I'm gonna tell y'all things, like he even said things about my life that ended up coming true. So I'm gonna share these story time, and it involves me being like trans and everything like that. So I'm definitely gonna share this story time with y'all. I'm not just posting a random video about a psychic, but yeah, it pertains to me being like trans and like the stuff he said did come true or whatever. So I'm sorry, like my top, like I don't know. I hope I don't get like flagged for wearing this shirt because it's like got everything like popping out, but yeah, so it's cute. It's like a little orange butterfly. It reminds me of Stella from Winx Club. Okay. Basically, like what a psychic is that a psychic is like somebody that can like predict things and see things, sense and feel things in people's lives, and basically they can predict things and it comes true. So basically, I'm gonna tell y'all like how I met him and like all this stuff. And I truly believe God really put him in my life, to be honest, because he really came in my life when things were just totally out of control in my life, things that I didn't even, like couldn't even handle or anything like that. So basically, I was in high school when I met him. I think I was like 14 or 15 years old. Basically, I would go to this after school program thing at my high school. It was called like the Learning Center. So that's where we would get like tutoring and then also do our homework and stuff like that. Basically, this girl, she brought a Ouija board to the learning center. And basically, what a Ouija board is, you guys, it's basically a board with these letters on it, and then you basically have this little scope thingy, a lens, and then basically people supposed to hold it, and then it has like goodbye and hello on it and stuff like that. So it's basically used to communicate with spirits and ghosts and whatever scary things on the other side. So, anyways, so basically, she brought it into the learning center, y'all, and she started playing with it. And I truly believe like something followed me home that night or that afternoon. Like it followed me home, whatever came out of that board, because um, so after I went home, within that week, I didn't play with it or anything like that, but I did like have a really, like, I was just tripping out when I saw that. I was just freaking out a little bit. So late at night when I would go use the bathroom, I'll turn on the hallway light to go use the bathroom and leave the light on. Well, when I got done using the bathroom, you guys, the light was turned off in the hallway, and I don't know who did it. I didn't hear anyone um, turn off the light or anything like that. There was nobody upstairs with me, so that really scared me. Also, too, I started seeing things in the corner of my eye, like shadows, like come, like things moving past the corner of my eye, and I'll look, and then it's like nothing there. And then also too, like what else? I was seeing like orbs and stuff flying around in my room and stuff, and like I just got really scared, and I thought I was losing my mind, you guys. And then before you knew it, I started seeing like a ghost in the house. Like I saw like a man with like a black hat, and he was tall, and he would appear and then he would disappear. And then that's when I really thought I was losing my mind. And honestly, I don't even care if y'all don't even believe me, but I'm just telling y'all what I've seen, and I even talked to like a therapist about it. It just, yeah. So basically, a lot of things were going on in that house that I was staying at, and I basically like could not sleep. I thought I was going crazy. Then my cat, whenever I would see these things going on in the house, my cat would see it too. He would look at it, and he would just be looking at it, and then he would try to go chase it, and then it would disappear. It would go fade into the wall or disappear, whatever that thing wanted to do that day. And my cat would go chase it and then try to go up the stairs to find it. So that's how I knew I wasn't crazy anymore. And then not only that, my aunt was seeing things too in the house, and I was describing to her what I've been seeing, and then she was like, "Oh my God, you see him too?" And then we both described exactly what we seen. The only people that did not see it was my uncle and my grandmother. Those two, they for some reason did not see it, or maybe they did see it and they just didn't want to believe it. I don't know, but also too, later that I found out too is that I'm not trying to put my family's business out there, but my aunt, I truly believe she was doing like some witchcraft or something in her room, because I went into her room one day and I seen these candles with like money manifestation candles, and she had these books, these spiritual books or whatever, with that had like spells and stuff. And I remember her calling these psychics up and like asking to put like a love spell on this guy that she really liked at work. And then me and her shared a bathroom too. And so in the bathtub, there was rose petals in the corner of the bathtub, and it was inside of a container that said Lovecraft on it or something, like Craft Love or something. I don't even remember. But I asked her about it. I said, "What is that? And why is that in the bathtub in the corner?" And she was like, "It stinks in the bathroom. It's supposed to make the bathroom smell good." And is in a container, closed off in a container, and there's just like three rose petals in there. So yeah, I truly believe like what she was doing too, it started attracting these spirits and things into the house. I didn't realize that until I was like a lot older. um, Looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, I think she was part of the reason why there was things going on in that house. So I truly believe something from that board followed me home, and then her doing whatever she was doing in her room with them candles. I think that's what attracted these things into the house. That's my opinion, and I think that's what happened. So while all this crazy stuff was going on in the house, lights turning on and off and seeing these things. So at the time too, y'all, I was like really Christian and everything. So I was going to this church in my hometown, and I would go to like youth group there on Wednesdays, and then on Sundays I would go to church. So basically I was telling them what was going on in the house, and basically all they did, y'all, was just pray and then put some oil in the shape of a cross on my forehead, and then they said that should help. And y'all, if anything, I felt like it got even worse. Like I feel like things were just more manifested, things just worse, okay? And I remember just keeping my cat with me in the middle of the night, and like these things would just be floating around and stuff like that, and my cat would just be full on staring at it. And I was just tripping out. I was telling my grandmother about it. She was just saying, they said it's the devil messing with me. Yeah, I actually don't believe that. I really feel like he has better things to do than to mess with little old me. So yeah. So turns out, so after church, I did some research on the internet. So I basically started researching like like how to get rid of these beings and spirits and ghosts and crap. So basically I looked online, and they were saying to get these crystals like smoky quartz, and then like these black crystals and clear quartz and like all that. So they said like these crystals are supposed to like protect you from them, and then it kind of like repels them and stuff. So basically, I googled like my nearest rock shop place near me. So I was telling my grandma. So at the time I was still in high school, y'all. Like I didn't even have money like that. I couldn't even drive. So I remember I went to church with my grandmother, and I was like, I begged her, I was like, can we please go to this rock shop place? And she was like, okay. Like she thought I was just going there to get, because I was like a rock nerd or something. But no, like I was there to go get some spiritual stuff to like repel these things. That I felt like I was on Ghostbusters or something. Like, I kid you not, you guys. And so, yeah, so we went to the rock shop. I basically was going around, like this one lady had like these, she had like weird, like I was getting like witchy vibes from her. Like she had like these pendulums, like these crystals in her plate, in her shopping bag or whatever. I'm sorry, y'all, but there's like a guy, like a plumber is here, so you might hear some background noise, but hopefully not too much, because I have a microphone now, so hopefully it won't affect the video too much. So basically, yeah, so after that, she got, so I went up to her, and I was asking her about these crystals and like how do they work and all this stuff. And then I eventually ended up telling her, I was like, I see dead people. Like, I really don't know what to tell you. Like, I see these spirits in my house. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm just a kid. Blah, 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 blah. So she basically was like, oh my God, like, my son helps people like you. Like, wow, like, you're really gifted. Like, she was just telling me all this stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. She said, how old are you? I think I was like 15 at the time. And so she was like, okay, like, my son is 16. And so I was like, okay. So this was like back before I even transitioned, you guys. Like, I was still like a dude, like a guy, like everything. Like, I just thought I was like a little gay guy. So basically, yeah, so after that, she gave him my number. He ended up calling me, you guys, like I think later that night. And I basically was telling him everything that was going on up in this house. I was telling him I went to the church. They didn't help me. All this stuff. I don't know what to do. So he's actually a gifted psychic or whatever. And he basically, told me what I needed to do to get these things out of the house. And so I did do it. So I basically imagined white light around the house and then like a bubble dome or whatever, completely around the house, under the house, above the house. And then also too, I kept like salt and stuff next to my bed. After I kept salt next to my bed. Also too, like he said to call on my angels and things to get. So yeah, y'all, I did a lot of praying. Sage also too, I got sage that helped. So yeah, eventually, yeah, everything he told me to do, y'all, it worked. Like they were gone. I was not seeing stuff anymore up in the house. Um, yeah, so after that, he was very close to my age. Also too in high school, y'all. I didn't really have a lot of friends at all. Like I remember hating high school so much, and the bullying and everything was just like really bad. So I remember I would just go to him and I would talk to him and stuff. So, but because I was seeing these like things that was going on in the house and stuff, it really questioned like my faith at the church and stuff, and like how the people from the church was treating me, and like all this stuff. So I remember just asking him questions about like God and stuff. And basically, I was just telling him, like, I have an uncle that's, gay. And the church that I went to, y'all, like, was talking about people that are gay, like, they're going to hell. Like, that's what the youth pastor said. And to be honest, y'all, I believe he was gay myself. And so after that, I was talking to, we're gonna call my friend Ryan. We're gonna call him Ryan. So I remember talking to Ryan and I was like asking like, well, I had an uncle that was gay and he died. So like, is he in heaven or hell? Because he can see things and he can talk to spirits and stuff like that. So he basically told me that like God actually loves gay people, and he told me that like God does not judge at all. He's made out of pure love and everything like that. It's just mankind kind of puts their own spin and perspective on stuff. So me and him would have these deep conversations, you guys, and me and him just started talking like 3 times a week. And like I would just tell him things going on in my life. He was like my best friend. Like I would tell him all my secrets and like everything like that. And then he would give me like really good advice. And he was just a really nice guy. And he's actually one of the most smartest men I ever known to this day, because he would just tell me things about like science and why things are the way they are. And he's really a smart man. Like I think he's like too smart. So yeah, and he helped me a lot and about like spiritual stuff, and he was just really good with sciences. Like he just really knew how the world works. Like it was really weird. It was crazy. And so yeah, and then so one day me and him was talking on the phone. So this is when things started like becoming accurate in my life. Like he started telling me things about my life, and then these things were coming true and manifesting. And me and him talked on the phone for a whole year before we even met. So like this guy never knew where I lived. I didn't know where he lived. So I just knew that he lived 2 towns over from me. That's all I knew. But he never knew where I lived or anything like that. And I didn't know exactly where he lived. So basically after that, you guys, he one night we were talking on the phone, and he basically tells me like Oh, I got like a psychic vision of there's like a black dog outside of your house or something like that. And I was like, what? So as soon as he said that, you guys, the dogs in my garage, there were, so my room was upstairs. The garage was underneath like my room, basically. And I can hear all of a sudden, right when he said that, the dog started barking in the garage. And I was like, what the heck? So I look out my window. Sure enough, you guys, there was a small black dog outside my house, but there was two dogs. It wasn't just that black dog, there was another dog. I don't know what type of dog, I don't remember, but there was another dog next to it. And it was at night, and it was just these two people walking their dogs. And I was beyond just not creeped out, but just very like, just shocked. And there's no way that he knows where I live. There's just no way. And I remember telling people that story, and people were just like, "Oh my God, he probably what a stalker." And I'm like, "No, like if only if y'all knew." And so that's incident one, okay? And that's after that, I was just a total believer. I was just like, "Oh my God, this guy really knows what he's talking about." And yeah, and then also too, like another time too, where things were crazy is that I befriended this girl at my high school. This girl was definitely into witchcraft, but I didn't know she didn't practice it, but she like her family was about that, but she never did it. So like I was just telling her about like the crazy things that happened in my life with like these spirits and stuff like that. And also too, my grandfather passed away, and I believe his spirit came to visit me. Okay, I'm back with this video. Sorry, my camera ran out of memory. But okay, anyways, back to the story. So basically, in high school, I made friends with this girl or whatever. Her family practiced like witchcraft and stuff like that, but like she never did it. So her mom passed away, and like she basically at her old high school, she even told me things too as like a kid. She would see like things under her bed, like these spirits and stuff under her bed, and like yeah, it was just like really weird. And then like she also opened up and told me things like she went to this high school, and then like I remember she was like in like a wolf pack or something like that, where these like there was like two packs at her high school. One was like vampires and the other was like werewolves, but they did like witchcraft to like become a werewolf and then like a vampire or whatever. And so basically she flip-flopped or whatever. So it was just like really weird. I know this sounds like I'm making this up, but I swear to y'all, I am not making this up. So she basically said like this girl, she did the vampire spell or something like that. And basically she ended up losing a lot of weight, and then she ended up becoming a lot faster. And then also too, like she started like drinking blood and stuff. It was like really weird. And one time like she cut herself, and the girl grabbed her arm and started sucking her blood. Like it was very crazy to me. Like it was just she even like she was like, I can't believe I'm telling you this. Like I don't even believe it, and I'm telling you the story. And so yeah, it was just like the way she would tell me things. But she told me that like her on her mom's side, like she, you know, they all did like witchcraft, and like they were all like witches and stuff. So I just thought that was so cool. And so later that day, oh yeah, and then also too, so they did like the like I think a vampire spell on her or something like that, so she can turn into like one. And all of a sudden she said she got really sick. After they did the spell, within like a 24 hours, she got extremely weak, extremely sick. Like it was to the point where she had to go get hospitalized. And she was like in the hospital for like I think a week or something like that. Yeah, it was really crazy. And she was saying like I don't know why, you know, all this stuff, but after a week like I was better, and like yeah. And she said the spell never worked on her. So I kid y'all not, so after I get done talking to her later that night, I call my friend Ryan up, and I tell him like, oh, I met this girl today at school, you know, stuff like that. And you know, I did not tell him that her family come from like a line of witches and stuff like that or whatever. I was just telling him about like the vampire spell that they did on her, and it didn't work or anything like that. So y'all, he literally was like, yeah, I'm getting that like she can't like her like I'm getting like on her mom's side that like she comes from like a line of witches or something like that on her mom's side. And I literally was like, that is insane, because I had forgot to tell him that part or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, she told me that. And she was like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. And like, he's very sensitive, y'all. Like, he can really tune in and like, yeah. So basically, after that, I was like, yeah, he definitely is psychic. He definitely knows stuff. Like, he was not with me out. He did not go to my high school either. So, yeah, like this guy's definitely the real deal. So basically, after that, I couldn't believe that. And basically, so he told me why that spell did not work on her. He was saying, I know why she got sick really bad. It's because he said that it's because she comes from like a line of witches or whatever like that. So when those people casted that vampire spell on her, the reason why she got really sick was because she comes from a line of witches. That's like her blood or whatever. That's who she is. So when they did the vampire spell on her, her the that because she comes from like a line of witches, it that the witch energy or whatever, it was trying to repel that vampire spell. It was trying to repel it. Like, she has a natural like energy shield around her where she can like repel like spells and magic and stuff. And I just thought that was so cool. And so that's why she got really sick, was because her body was trying to repel it and trying to like fight it off basically. Which isn't that like I can't even wrap my mind around that. So basically after that, me and him ended up meeting up. We went to the mall, and what happened? So after a year of talking and stuff on the phone, we actually met up. So we met up, we hung out. It was amazing. It was cool. So I think like the next day or something like that, we talked again on the phone. And what happened? He ended up telling me, he was like, I don't know how the conversation popped up, but he was like, oh yeah, when we met, I was totally getting like psychic information about you. And I was like, oh, like, what did you get? He was telling me that your spirit is actually a woman inside of a male's body. And he was telling me that. He was like, your spirit is actually a woman. And he said that it's so obvious and it makes so much sense now. And like all this stuff. And I was like, I don't know what you were talking about. He was like, he said you are physically have a male's body, but your spirit is a woman. And he told me that. And then I was just like, okay. But oh my God, this is literally the third time like the camera has been messed up. Like I don't know if this, I hope to God I'm not invoking anything, or I don't know if there's like something messing with the camera, but if something happens again, I'm not even going to post the story time. So let's just hope nothing is messing with the camera. So, okay. So basically, yeah, after he told me that, you guys, I didn't put much thought into it. Like, we didn't know like about like trans people. We didn't know anything about like transitioning and transgender people. It was just, that's what he told me. And then we changed the subject, and then we talked about other stuff. So after that, after I turned 18, and then once I graduated high school, I went to this LGBT thing meeting, and this lady talked about like each letter in the alphabet of the LGBT spectrum. And when she talked about like the T and like T and LGBT, she talked about like trans, like what that is. She basically was saying that like you basically feel like you're the opposite gender in the body that you were born in. And it just made so much sense to me. And then on, I just started my transition, and then I fully completed, and now I'm happy as hell. And yeah, I'm pretty much myself, and I'm pretty happy, and I don't regret anything. And yeah, the stuff that Ryan told me definitely came true. Um, he's definitely right. He's definitely one of the most smartest men that I ever known. Also, too, me and him, we're actually still friends to this day. He ended up moving to Arizona, so I don't see him anymore. But um, I swear, if I ever move into a house and there's paranormal activity going on in there, I will be calling him, and I will be getting in touch with him. So yeah, that was just definitely a crazy story time. I promise y'all, I am telling the truth, nothing but the truth. That is exactly what happened in my high school experience time. I think that was like what, my junior year? Or no, 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 that was senior year. That was my senior year of high school that happened. And yeah, so um yeah. So definitely, I hope you guys love this story time. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, and there will be more videos to come. Stay magical.